You're listening to Do This First, a daily personal development podcast that focuses on science fact, actionable steps towards your best year ever. Hi, I'm Sandy, your host. Today, we're continuing our 10-part series, The Stoics' Lessons in Leadership and Life, with one of the most preeminent Stoic philosophers that really shaped Stoicism. I'm speaking about Chrysippus. Chrysippus was a prominent Stoic philosopher who was originally from Cilicia, a region in modern-day Turkey. Before becoming a Stoic, Chrysippus worked as a merchant and a runner. He's renowned for his significant contributions to Stoic philosophy, particularly in the field of logic, ethics, and physics. His writings and ideas had a profound influence on the development of Stoicism and subsequent philosophical thought. Some of his main philosophical tenets and beliefs include logic, developing propositional logic, and formalizing syllogistic reasoning. He believed that logic was essential for achieving wisdom and living in harmony with nature. Ethics. Chrysippus emphasized the importance of virtue, self-control, and living in accordance with nature. He promoted the idea of living a virtuous life based on reason and moral excellence. Physics. Chrysippus contributed to Stoic physics by proposing a deterministic view of the universe. He believed that everything in the cosmos was interconnected and governed by natural laws. Chrysippus differed from other Stoics in his meticulous approach to logic and his emphasis on formal reasoning. He was known for his logical rigor and his systematization of Stoic doctrine, which influenced the way Stoic philosophy was taught and understood. It's not precisely known why Chrysippus turned to Stoic philosophy, but like many philosophers of the time, he likely was just seeking answers to questions about the nature of reality, ethics, and the best way to live a good life. Chrysippus was highly respected during his lifetime, both for his philosophical acumen and his influential teachings. His ideas gained widespread recognition and significantly shaped Stoic philosophy. Chrysippus enjoyed considerable acclaim as a prominent Stoic thinker, and his reputation continued to grow even after his death. We're going to take a little trek back to school because I think some of his applications from a logical point of view were extremely helpful. And as a leader, I think it's really important to be able to look at things from different perspectives in order to come up with sound solutions. As stated previously, Chrysippus did stand out quite a bit from his peers in several significant ways. But here are a couple of situations or writings that really exemplify how he differentiated himself. Firstly, when we look at his advancements in logic, Chrysippus made remarkable advancements in Stoic logic. He developed propositional logic and formalizing syllogistic reasoning. His work in logic was highly systematic and comprehensive, setting him apart from his contemporaries and predecessors. Chrysippus' logical innovations laid the groundwork for later developments in logic and reasoning. There are several leadership lessons Chrysippus explored that can be applied to your decision-making process as a leader. One lesson that leaders can learn from Chrysippus is to apply formalized reasoning. Incorporate formalized reasoning techniques inspired by Chrysippus' work in propositional logic. Chrysippus contributed significantly to the development of propositional logic, also known as statement logic. Propositional logic is a branch of formal logic that deals with the logical relationship between propositions or statements. It focuses on the logical connectives such as and, or, but, if, then, that combines simple propositions to form complex propositions. Propositional logic provides a systematic way to analyze the truth values of a statement and construct valid arguments based on those statements. In propositional logic, Propositions are represented by variables, so PQ, R, that can stand for either true or false statements. Logical connectors are used to form compound propositions, combining simple propositions. Formulating an argument. Using propositional logic to construct valid arguments by identifying premises. Premises are propositions assumed to be true, and conclusions, which are statements drawn from the premise. By symbolizing statements and logical connectives, you can represent the structure of arguments clearly. Evaluating the truth values means just determining the truth values of compound propositions by examining the truth values of their constituent parts. You apply maybe truth tables to systematically evaluate how different truth values of simple propositions affect the overall truth value of complex propositions. So a statement formulation could be, it is raining, and that is a simple proposition. And then the streets are wet, another simple proposition. Becomes a compound proposition once you put them together. It is raining and the streets are wet. When you're constructing an argument, using the example I provided previously, if it is raining, then the streets will be wet. If it is not raining, then the streets will not be wet. Argument. If it is raining, then the streets are wet. It is raining, therefore the streets are wet. So evaluating the truth values, you can do this through, putting together a truth table per se. And the application, basically in the decision-making processes, using propositional logic can really help in evaluating the logical consequence and implications of different choices. In programming, propositional logic forms the basics for conditional statements and control structures. So if we understand and apply propositional logic inspired by Chrysippus' work, leaders can enhance their analytical skills, construct valid arguments, evaluate truth values, and make sound and well-structured decisions across various domains. Makes it very, very clear. Chrysippus also is renowned for his significant contributions to syllogistic reasoning. It's a form of deductive reasoning that explores the logical relationships between propositions to derive valid conclusions. Syllogistic reasoning, popularized by Aristotle and further refined by Chrysippus, involves constructing arguments consisting of two premises and a conclusion, all framed in terms of universal quantification, so all, no, or some. Examples of syllogistic reasoning could be like, number one, the premise, all humans are mortal. The universal affirmative proposition, all A are B. Very straightforward. Premise two, Socrates is a human. That's a particular affirmative proposition. A is B. The conclusion, therefore, is Socrates is mortal. Particular affirmative proposition, A is B. In this example, we apply syllogistic reasoning to deduce the mortality of Socrates based on the two premises provided. The first premise establishes a universal relationship between humans and mortality, stating that all humans, A, are mortal, B. The second premise specifies that Socrates, A, belongs to the category of humans, B. Very straightforward. By contributing these premises using syllogistic reasoning principles, we reach the logical conclusion that Socrates, being a human, must also be mortal. You can apply this to anything. This inference follows the logical rule of the syllogism, where the conclusion is derived from the relationship between the terms in the premises. This example illustrates how syllogistic reasoning can be used to derive a valid conclusion by logically connecting general and specific statements to reach a logical outcome. It showcases the systematic and deductive nature of syllogistic reasoning in analyzing relationships between categories or classes to draw an informative and sound conclusion. Syllogistic reasoning follows a very specific structure. So two premises provide the information about categories or classes, and the conclusion logically follows from those premises. So just very, very straightforward. Leaders can benefit from employing syllogistic reasoning in various decision-making contexts, especially when faced with complex problems that require logical analysis and structural reasoning. Syllogistic reasoning aids in developing coherent arguments, identifying logical fallacies, and deriving valid conclusions based on established premises. Chrysippus made significant advancements and refinements to the system, which contributed to its further development and popularization among ancient philosophers. Chrysippus is often regarded as one of the foremost experts in syllogistic reasoning due to his detailed analysis and enhancements to the logical framework. Chrysippus enriched syllogistic reasoning by introducing new rules, such as the five indemonstrables, often referred to as Stoic syllogistic rules, which help systematize and clarify the structure of syllogisms. He also distinguished between different types of propositions and syllogisms, expanding the scope and applicability of syllogistic reasoning. As a leader, utilize tools such as decision trees, deductive reasoning, and structured argumentation to evaluate options, anticipate outcomes, and make well-informed decisions based on sound reasoning. Identify assumptions and logical fallacies. Follow Chrysippus's example by identifying and challenging assumptions and logical fallacies that might influence your decision-making processes. Scrutinize your own beliefs and biases. Seek out alternative perspectives and strive to maintain logical consistency in your reasoning. By integrating Chrysippus's advancements in logic into your decision-making framework, leaders can enhance the ability to make reasoned, well-founded decisions, navigate complex challenges with clarity and precision, and inspire confidence and trust through a logical and rational leadership approach. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to leave a review, follow, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Do This First. You can also read a full transcript of this podcast episode and all 151 podcast episodes and counting on my blog, DoThisFirst.life. You can also sign up for my weekly newsletter, which will help you get your week started on a positive note, and updates on coaching, books, merch, and my public speaking engagements as they become available. Tomorrow we'll continue with our 10-part Stoic Lessons in Leadership and Life series. Till tomorrow. Moving past the rain, moving past the pain, or past the color blue. I see power in you. Past welded down. Look around, they can't be found. I see a champion in you. I see a champion in you.